Greetings! If you're new to watching my videos, hello. And if this is not your first video, welcome back. In one of my previous videos, I talked about Canada's employment insurance and the Canada Emergency Response Benefit. When I released the video, I had quite a few followers and subscribers and viewers that have asked a lot of questions regarding the CERB. In this video, I am just going to go through some of the commonly asked questions that I have received over the past little while, and I'm going to provide answers to you. Hopefully, if you have any of these questions, these will also help you. Also, I have provided a link in the description below to some questions and answers that the government has also provided to the public. The questions that I'm going to be answering today are not necessarily located in the question and answers section of the Government of Canada website. These are unique questions that have happened over time. This first question is a very common question for those who were already on employment insurance. The question is, if you were already on employment insurance and then you were switched over to CERB, do the CERB payments and time frame count towards your EI? I have received a lot of conflicting information on this. There are some people who have spoken with EI support agents. There are other people who know EI support agents. And the common answer has been that once you are done with the CERB, you will switch back over to your employment insurance benefit. However, you may have to reapply. The key thing here is to make sure that you are constantly paying attention to what is happening on the Government of Canada website under employment insurance. Things have been ever evolving since the CERB was introduced. Things are constantly changing. So your best bet is to watch the website, especially closer to the end of your CERB payments. When all the periods are done and all your payments are over, pay attention, call the call center, because what could be possible today may be different tomorrow. I have also heard that the CERB payments do not count towards your EI payments. So you should receive all of your EI payments once the CERB is done. The government may change that as well. Just pay attention to the website. This also answers the second question I have on my list. People are asking, when you switch back over to EI from CERB, does it happen automatically? This does not necessarily happen automatically. It may or it may not. You may have to reapply, or you may not. Just make sure you pay attention to the website. On to the next question. EI has deducted from my CERB. Why is that? So at the beginning of all of this, when people were transitioning from EI to CERB, behind the scenes, the government was transitioning them. There were many people in Canada who received double payments. They received both their EI payment and their CERB payment. A lot of people didn't realize that they were being paid an amount from EI and CERB for the exact same period. When the government realized what they had done, they put a repay option on their Government of Canada website and asked anybody who had received a double payment, received too much money, or were receiving CERB when they realized they weren't actually qualified for CERB to repay that amount. This has been on the website for several weeks. At the end of June, the government decided to implement a deduction from those who had not repaid any overpayments of the CERB. So an individual who is expecting $2,000 for their payment or $1,000 for their payment only received a portion of that payment. This leads to the next question that people had. they've realized that they had $1,000 deducted from their CERB, and they are wondering when the next $1,000 is going to be deducted from their CERB. From what I've learned from some of my followers who've called into call center agents, that the next deduction will happen closer to the end of August, beginning of September. Another question that I received was, if I retire, am I eligible for the CERB? If you did not lose your job due to COVID, or your hours were not reduced due to COVID, then you are not eligible for CERB. However, if you have retired, you may be eligible for other government benefits, such as the Canadian Pension Plan or the Old Age Security. So you may want to check into that on the Government of Canada website. If I've been temporarily laid off, do I apply for the CERB? If you've been temporarily laid off, you will want to apply for EI through Service Canada. And Service Canada will determine whether you are eligible for the CERB or if you will remain on EI until you return to work. Do people who are on disability qualify for the CERB? I cannot find any information on the CERB Government of Canada website about disability, but there are disability benefits from the Government of Canada that you may want to look into if you are disabled. People who were living on welfare are now collecting the CERB. Is this fraud? Each personal situation is unique. If an individual was on welfare because they lost their job and they did not qualify for EI and they needed some sort of assistance, they may have been eligible for CERB, but they cannot collect both at the same time. Their situation is definitely something that they would have to work out with the government. If the government hasn't already started, they will very soon be doing audits on individuals who are receiving the CERB. Their audits are going to determine who qualified for CERB and who didn't, and who are taking advantage of the program and who aren't. If you know for an absolute fact that somebody is taking advantage of the system, you can contact the Government of Canada and let them know. The next question is, if I've exhausted my EI and sick benefits, but cannot go back to work because my surgery was pushed back because of COVID-19, do I qualify for CERB? The simple answer is, if you cannot work because of COVID-19, then you qualify for CERB. So if your surgery was pushed back because of COVID-19, then you should qualify for CERB. My advice to you, though, is to contact a Government of Canada agent to find out if you do actually qualify. I quit my job after March 15th. Do I qualify for the CERB? If you quit your job, you do not qualify for the CERB. My mom's job was eliminated because of COVID-19, but she will be receiving a pension and a payout. Does she qualify for CERB? Your mom would qualify because her job was eliminated, but in the period that she is applying for, if she earns more than $1,000 in that period, she does not qualify. So if her payout and her pension equates to more than $1,000, she does not qualify. I am on EI CERB. Can I work 26 hours a week and still get my benefits? If you work 26 hours a week and you end up making more than $1,000 within the period that you are receiving the CERB, you are not eligible for the benefit for that period. If I was paid for Canada Day, but I didn't work on Canada Day, am I still eligible for the CERB? Well, first of all, any of your earnings, regardless of whether you work on that day or you're not, will count towards the $1,000 amount for the CERB. So if you received pay for Canada Day and you worked on other days during that period and your total income equated to $1,000 or more, you would not qualify for the CERB during that period. If I'm self-employed, does my gross income of $1,000 go towards the minimum amount for CERB? If you're self-employed and you are earning an income, take your income less your expenses, and the amount left over is the amount that goes towards the $1,000 qualification for CERB. Those are all the questions that I have for this video. Hopefully, if your situation fell under one of those questions, you were able to receive the answers that you were looking for. If you're not sure, the best thing that you can do is call the Government of Canada. I know that it will take a long time, but it will be worth it in the end. If your question wasn't answered here and you still have more questions, feel free to put your question in the comments below and I will look up the answer for you. I have also included a link to the CERB website, specifically the question and answer section, in the description below. So you can just click on that link and you may be able to get some of the answers that you are looking for right there on that link. Best wishes to all of you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and good luck to you in your search for employment. Thanks for watching.